I need to tell you something that I never said publicly before. There was a point in my life, and I'm not talking about when I was homeless or a high school dropout, but later, when I was already making money in sales, already climbing that ladder, where I looked at everything I had built and still didn't believe I deserved to win. I was so full of self-doubt that success felt like something that happened to other people, not to me. Today, I'm going to talk about that voice because I know you hear it too. So welcome to episode 6, where I'm going to put my heart and my feelings on my sleeve, and I'm going to be vulnerable, okay? When I'm saying self-doubt is that thing that sets in when success is right there, but you don't feel like you deserve it. Self-doubt is where everything is going great for you. You're making the income that you dreamt about making. Like you always wanted to get to this income, but you're feeling like you don't deserve it. You're feeling like this isn't true. This isn't the reality. This isn't something that's supposed to be for people like me and where I come from. My GED wasn't supposed to give me this type of income. The stuff that I did in my life wasn't, I'm not supposed to be where I am right now. Like why me? Why me? Yo, if things was going bad, you would say the same thing. Like, why me? Why me? Why me? Self-doubt is the thing that sets in when you look at who you used to be and you look at who you currently are and you find every reason why it shouldn't be possible. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is, yes, I got here, but can I stay there? Self-doubt is, yes, I got there, but can I move above there? Do I deserve to move above there? See, this is the thing, man. I had to get away from everybody that I grew up with. Not because I ain't got love for them, I don't like them. I love my people. Got love for my people. Like, we went through a lot together. I had to get to the point where I loved me more. But my self-doubt for a long time, right? My self-doubt, even after making the money, after already got the big crib, and I'm loving it. Kids are loving it. And I'm still looking around and I'm finding every reason why it shouldn't be. I'm still having conversations with myself on, man, you ain't him. Ain't nothing special about you. No, yes, sir. You know what I mean? Like, yes, sir. But I just didn't see it. I didn't see it. So do you know what it's like to take home a 100,000, over 100,000 a year, like take home and still feel like you don't deserve it? Still feel guilty? Still feel undervalued by yourself? Like you undervalue you, nobody else. And then you start having conversations with people, or you hear about conversations people are having that is talking about who you used to be. I don't get into conversations no more about who I used to be. Who I used to be now for me is who I used to be a year ago. What am I now? Who am I now? Am I better than the person I was a year ago? Am I better than the person I was a week ago? I don't need to go back 30 years. You see what I'm saying? I don't need to go back 20 years. Like, 20 years ago, who was you? Like, I'm not supposed to be that person. But when you talk to people, they're so quick to remind you of who you used to be that you start doubting, do you deserve? And that's where I was. That's where I was. I'm having conversations with people making 30, 40, 50, 60 grand a year before taxes. Listen, man, it's not a bash on income. That's not what I'm doing. But what I'm saying is, if that's your world and your reality, that's cool, because that's what you chose. So I'm proud of you for having happiness in your life, whatever that is for you, right? But for me, in them conversations is fueling the self-doubt even more, the guilt even more. I need to be around people that are doing the same, striving for more or way better, right? This is why. If I'm around people that are doing the same, our conversations are forward thinking. If I'm around people that are doing better, I now can be a student. I don't have to be the teacher. Because if I'm in the room where I'm always the teacher, that's just making me feel comfortable. That's just making me feel comfortable. That's not doing anything extra for me. But when I'm around people that are the same, we're forward thinking. I'm around people that are doing better. I can now be the student. And then people that are doing way better, it's like, yo, that's the inspiration. That's the hope. You have these voices with yourself. Now, listen, man, I want y'all to get this because I'm only talking sales. This is all sales. This is what we go through. You feel lonely. It gets dark. It gets depressing. It gets doubtful, right? You create this lifestyle, and inside of this lifestyle, you're trying to hold it all together based on your mental, emotional, and physical being, and you're doubting yourself. Can you do it? Can you keep it? Can things work the way you want it to work? You're doubting yourself. So when you have conversations with other individuals, you find that them conversations water your doubt and slow your growth. Why don't you switch that? Focus on the growth and slow your doubt. You see what I mean? It's just how I'm thinking. It's just how I'm thinking. That internal voice, right? That internal voice that says to yourself, man, this isn't possible. Man, I don't belong here. Man, people like me don't make it. This is all self-doubt water. You're watering the self-doubt that you have. This is the internal voice. I need you to take control of that internal voice. That's what I had to get to. There's people right now, man, that I haven't talked to probably, I don't know, over 2 years, 3 years. Some people over, 3 months. When I understand what it takes, right? When I begin to understand what it takes to grow, to develop, to become who I want to be, one of the things I caught first was, control that internal voice. That means don't be in certain conversations. When someone says something that doubts you, you got to immediately get away from that. Why? Because you already doubt yourself at times. So I don't need you to doubt me too. I don't need you to be the burden on my thought process. I don't need you to have any weight on my thought process. And then you have people who say to you, well, it shouldn't matter. You should know better. But you still have to do this, and you still have to talk to this one, and you have to talk. No, you don't. You don't. There's a season, man, where you got to go be quiet. You got to go be quiet, and you got to go and focus on only you. You got to focus on the things that are going to help you to get to where it is you want to be. So you got to control them voices. If I have outside influence pouring into me that is a negative influence that is watering my self-doubt, you have to go, because now I'm giving you some control over the voice. You ever watch a movie or have a conversation at nighttime before you go to sleep, and when you're in that conversation, it's the conversation that you are in when you're sleeping, and you wake up and you're like, I was dreaming about such and such. Well, that's what you was talking about before you went to sleep. So if I'm in a conversation with you and you hitting me with all this doubt and you doubting me, now I'm going to have a dream about doubt? Not me. I'm going to sleep controlling my voices. The voice, my voices, the voice that's in your head, right? I'm going to sleep controlling that. I'm not letting it control me. Sometimes, man, you find that you are so busy fighting the external war that the internal war is taking over. Right? It's just like right now, you can look at politics and what people say. Like, they got this story here to distract you from this story. Well, it's the same concept. Your external story is taking away from your internal story. So externally, yes, you look like you're winning, but internally, you are drowning in self-doubt. But externally, you make it look good. So you're looking like it's success, but no, that's It's not success. You can look at me any way you want externally, but internally, understand this is my world. This is my world that you can't interrupt. Not even myself. I can't even allow myself to interrupt the internal fight that is happening. So this external war has nothing to do with me. I'm putting my oxygen mask on internally first. Right? That's the war that I'm controlling. That's the war that I'm going to win. The internal. Because the internal, when you conquer that, the external will fall. If you conquer the external war, right, the internal will fall. And now it's controlled by everything external. So I don't want to rush past this, right? I need you to listen. I need you to listen. Your life is not about you being seen by others. It's about you being seen by yourself. Can you see it? Can you see it? One day my mentor said to me, he was like, yo, you never took a picture with me. Like, you never took a picture. You're never like, yo, let me get that picture. I said, nah, the picture don't give me the information. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not excited to have a picture. Pictures are everywhere. The information is what I want. Because if I get the information, people will want to take pictures with me. See what I mean? That's where I was. And what I was really saying is, I'm not worried about the external. I'm worried about the internal. But the illest thing is, it was flipped. I'm already making the money, but I'm still ignoring the internal, the self-doubt, and I'm focused on the external. Like, if you can see that I'm doing good, then and you look at me and you acknowledge that I'm doing good, then the internal, I'll deal with that later. Yo, that's backwards. That's backwards. That's like having $100 and you spend 90 cents and save 10. Why wouldn't you save 90 cents, right? Why wouldn't you save 90 cents and spend 10? That's going to get you to the destination before the spending 90 and saving the 10, right? Same concept. So I was so much trying to hide my self-doubt by letting you see the visual, letting you see a visual doing well, but internally, the struggle was real. So I want you to focus on one war, and that's the internal war, the internal mental war, emotional, spiritual war. That's that war. That's the war I want you on. When you conquer that, you can have whatever, right? Self-doubt can't live there. It's like taking your swimming pool. It's summertime now, right? So you see people opening up the pools and they putting a whole bunch of chlorine in to kill all that algae because it can't live inside of there. That's the same thing we're doing internally. We're making it safe for you to live. You can't go swim in that water full of bacteria. You see what I'm saying? But we let all that bacteria live inside of us and we walk around with it and we let everybody see, oh, our clothes are clean, we smell good, oh, we got some nice jewelry, oh, we got a nice vehicle, oh, they doing, but internally you full of bacteria. That's where self-doubt lives. Okay? I want you to ask yourself, any of this sound familiar to you? Any of this sound familiar? No matter how big the winds you get, you always find a way to let self-doubt live. Man, probably ain't gonna last long. Man, I need to take advantage of this now. Man, I got lucky on this one. Huh? Oh no. You was doing the work. So you got it. You got what was there, right? So think about this, and I want you to ask yourself, where does your self-doubt really come from? Self-doubt's not a weakness, okay? It's unprocessed history. That's what it is. Self-doubt's not a weakness. No. It's unprocessed history. The environment I come from is what breeds the self-doubt. Right? And I told you this isn't about me being homeless or a high school dropout, but that's part of the history of it. The high school dropout. I wasn't doing none of the homework assignments. I was being a class clown all the time. Why? Because I was doubting myself and my ability to be able to go to the board and spell, to be able to stand up in front of the room and present. Now I get up in front of 2,000-3,000 people, get on the stage, lights on me, everybody out there. I got to entertain them. I got to give them something of value. And I love it. But in high school, I couldn't do it. The self-doubt. The self-doubt was born at adolescent, going through high school. Self-doubt was born, right? But it's not a weakness. Unprocessed history. Because every time I was doubting myself and I would push through it and push through it and push through it, and then I make it happen, and it's like, ooh, you did it. But I didn't process it as I overcame all of this. I processed it as I'm not supposed to. I'm not qualified. I don't add enough value. That was the process, right? So self-doubt, I don't want you to look at self-doubt as being a weakness, but just unprocessed history. So let's go back and process the history so you can see that there was times you doubted yourself, yes. There was times other people doubted you, yes. But you got through it. Yo, this is sales. You sold yourself on the fact that whatever this was, whatever they said you couldn't do, you went and did it. Do you know even right now, I became so good at creating moments that I get people to say, yo, you can't do that. Because I found that gives me the push to go do it. I processed that history. So if I realize that, okay, it came up from an adolescent, they telling me, Pierre, you can't do this, Pierre, you can't go there, Pierre, this ain't like this ain't possible, all of that, right? I processed that history. Now I overcame all that. They told me I couldn't spell. Yep, they gave me these big scientific words. My uncle taught me how to break these words down, right? It was like eight syllable scientific words. To give y'all an example, the word together, and I was just talking to my uncle about this the other day, man, and we was tripping, but because we was talking about the words and the spelling words. And the teacher, I was acing my spelling test, and the teacher said, no, my fault, hold on, I jumped. I was failing in my spelling test, right? So the teacher, my uncle went to the school, talked to the teacher. The teacher decided he was going to be an extra jerk. And he gave me my own words. Like I have my own words outside of every spelling, the words of the week, the spelling words for the week, right? Everybody had a different group. Mine was all scientific, 7 syllables, 8 syllables. And my uncle said, all right, let's do it. He said, I can't spell these words, but we'll figure it out. And he broke these words down into smaller words. So to give you an example, because I don't remember none of them scientific words, but to give you an example, the word together is 3 words. To, get, her. When I spell that word and I'm writing it, I spell to, get, her together. He taught me how to do that to all of these words, right? All of them. And I was acing the test, acing them and getting my bonus words, right? My 5 bonus words, I'm getting all 10 spelling words, my 5 bonus words, acing them. The teacher said, you must be cheating. I said, yeah, right. So then he put me right in front of the class, and he sat right in front of me, and he made me do them words right in front of me. Boom, aced it. He said, Pierre, you get a break this week. You pick your own words. Listen, I picked rat, cat, dog, hat, bat, fat. I never forget it. I took these words home. My uncle said, P, where's our words this week? We got to study. I said, oh, we don't need to study this week. I'm good. He said, let me see the words. I said, oh, man, I said, I'm good. Let me do this one on my own. He said, man, let me see the words. I showed him the words. Yo, he was pissed. He was pissed. He went to the school the next day. He said, what is this? What is this BS? To the teacher, right? While he was doing so good, I let him, he said, no. You don't let him pick his words. You give him the words. I need new words. And the teacher gave us new words. You see, when I go back and I process that history, I was looking to take the easy way out. My uncle was looking to stretch me because he's seen that I was better than what I was. I was doubting myself like, yo, I did okay all these times, but I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. I was doubting myself. My uncle wouldn't let me doubt myself. So he gave me the words and we got right back to the drawing board. And till this day, if I see a word that I know I'm going to need to spell later, I break it down into smaller words, just like to get her together. Right? So remember, self-doubt's not a weakness. It's unprocessed history. Okay? Every person we counted out carries a voice of the people who counted them in. I want you to get that. Every person who was counted out carries the voice of the people who counted them out. So, if you're around a group of people that count you out continuously, their voice lives until you eliminate it. This is why, if I'm on the phone with you, if I'm in conversation with you, if we cross paths in any way and you pour self-doubt onto me in any way, I won't let your voice live. I will get away from you. Your voice cannot live in my head because I have enough to overcome on a daily basis. What I know is that I'm in sales, and being in sales, I need to be on my A game every single day. Every single day. I need to know that whatever conversation you bring to me, I can handle that. Whatever objection, I can overcome that. Whatever the situation is, I'm good. I don't have room for self-doubt. You might not look at it like your conversation is damaging to me, but I promise you it is. And you'll know it when I cut you off. Okay? I want you to understand that because it's so big. Watch the people. Watch the people that carry self-doubt. There's somebody who planted that seed, and that person never took it out. They just allow it to live. Okay? I had an 11th grade teacher. And this teacher, Miss Brown, man, I'm telling you, I talk about her all the time. And one day, hopefully before her last day, right? I know she's older now. I get to find her. I get to see her. You know, I would love to, number one, give her a hug. Number two, give her a copy of my book. Like, I got goosebumps, man. I got goosebumps up and down my arm right now, both of them, down my back, because Miss Brown was so big for me, so huge. She played a huge role in my life. This is back in the day, man, where they used to use the net hairspray, and she'd have the big bang, right, with the net hairspray, and the joint was like high up. But Miss Brown was so cool, and she wasn't taking none of my nonsense at any point, but she never turned me away. And when everybody else was doubting me, when everybody else was saying I couldn't do something, Ms. Brown said, send him to my class. Send him to my class with the work. Send him to my class with the work. And I'm telling you, I go to her class and I get the work done. When I walk out that room, I'm standing tall, chest out. I'm feeling good. When I go in her room, I'm feeling good. But when I go into these other rooms, I don't feel the same. Why? Because it was just self-doubt. They was doubting me all the time. And because they was doubting me, I was letting that live in my head. Oh, Pierre, you struggle with this. Pierre, you struggle with that. Miss Brown was saying, Pierre, let's get this. Pierre, you got that. Pierre, we're going to knock this one out. Okay, this one's a little harder, but you got it. Everybody else was telling me what I couldn't do. She was telling me what I could do. She's the one who gave me that push. I love her for that. Right? So I don't know, man. Some of y'all, you got somebody in your life that feeds you like phenomenal information. They believe in you, but you're so lost in your own self-doubt. You stay away from that person because that person is going to stretch you. That person is going to want you to do more, but you avoid that person and you go with them people who accept you for who you pretend to be, because it's not even you. It's not you. You know what I mean? It's not you. So where's that inspiration for you? Where is it, right? You have teachers, you have people, family, friends that breed self-doubt in you, and you avoid the people who push you to your greatness. You got to find them people, man. And I'm telling you, most likely you're gravitating to the wrong people. You got people in your life that don't deserve to be in your life. You got people in your life that are counterproductive. The ones that are productive in your life, you avoid. So right now, make a list of everybody you allow in your life and the people you avoid. And ask yourself, why do I avoid these people? Why do I let these people in? And why do I avoid these people? I'm telling you. Listen, big facts. When I started kicking people out when I got into sales, right? If you wasn't in sales, I didn't want to talk to you. If you was in sales, you can fill out the application to talk to me, right? Because I'm saying, like, if you're in sales and you doing like 8 units a month, man, I'm not talking to you. 8 units? Come on. We can't even sit down and have lunch together. I don't want to talk to you. If you're doing 20 plus, hello. You see what I'm saying? Like, we could talk now. You're doing 20 plus, we could talk. How you get there? What's every day look like? Dang, what's it look like when you got a week and you don't sell nothing? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a learning moment. I'm a student. Some of y'all want to be at the table where you're the teacher. You shouldn't even, like, why? And it's okay to be the teacher if you're the student to someone. If you're a student to no one, you don't deserve to be the teacher. But be the teacher to those below you, and above you is where you learn. Yo, my mentor told me that, blew my mind. Yo, see, oh, I appreciate you, bro. You don't even know that was the biggest piece right there. Where you are, you teach below, that's where you get paid, right? Below, you learn above. You pay to learn above. Yeah, listen, man, y'all do what you want, right? But listen, you got that voice in your head, man, and it's not yours. It's other people's, and it's living rent free. You got a voice in your head. So you was just on the phone with somebody, conversation was useless. Now for another hour, that voice lives in your head rent free. It pops up at any moment where a conversation comes up that relates to that. It's living in your head rent free. Why? This is why I'm selective on who I'm around. This is why I'm selective on who I talk to, who I spend my time with, why I spend my time with them, how I spend my time with them. Because in here is valuable. This is what I must protect. A lot of you protect your phones. You put phone cases on. You put screen cases on. You put security systems on. Everything so that you don't destroy this $2,000 piece of equipment. But this priceless piece of equipment, you let anybody in it, anybody around it. Tell me what sense that makes. Okay? Most people don't even identify this. They just live with it like it's the truth. You don't identify the fact that you're being poisoned by people that you love and people that love you back. But sometimes that love is so hard, it's poisonous because it breeds self-doubt. Don't be so hard on yourself. Now, what do you mean don't be hard on myself? Of course I am. If I'm not, who will be? Stop pushing yourself like that. It's okay. No, it's not. That's coming from somebody who don't have the life I want. That's coming from somebody who settled for what life gave them. No, that's not. These are all things that breed self-doubt. Man, should I really be sleeping more? And I'm not saying sleep's not important. It's not what I'm saying. But when you got something to do, you got something to do. Because if you had your job and you had to go work mandatory overtime, no matter how tired you are, you going to be there? Yep. And your excuse is, yeah, but that pays my bills. Okay, cool. I want to get to a point where I can take care of myself and my family when my working years are over and I don't need my kids to take care of me. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I don't want to have to be like, hey, can you help with this? Hey, can you do this? Not that anything's wrong with it, right? But I don't want that to be the ultimate, because I'm sure I'm going to call my son, my daughter, like, yo, can you bring me to the doctors? Hey, can you bring me to the grocery store? But if you're not there and you can't and you tell me no, I'm still going to get there. You see what I mean? I don't want to be that burden. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is how I'm thinking about it, okay? So don't walk around with that in your head like it's the truth. It's not the truth. You can have what you want. You can have what you want. That's why I love sales, okay? Whose words are you actually hearing when you doubt yourself? I want you to put a name on it. Put a name on it. Whose words are you hearing when you doubt yourself? Are they your words? Are they words that come from somebody else, come from another situation? Whose are they? Whose are they? Okay? I want you to really sit with that question for a minute. I want you to sit with that question. And I want you to write it down. I want you to really hear that. When you hear self-doubt, who is it? Is it the way your dad used to talk to you, your mom, your uncle, your aunt, your cousins, your best friend? Who is it? Your teacher? Who is it? When you hear that self-doubt, who is it? Like my teachers told me, like, yo, Pierre, you're borderline retarded. Like this is what they said, right? Our teacher said this. Me and my uncle in the meeting, they're like, yeah, Pierre's borderline. My uncle looked like, yo, P, is that true? I looked at him like I wanted to beat the teacher up. And for a long time, when something will happen, I'd be like, yo, that teacher, Miss Mycroft. I ain't forget you, Miss Mycroft, with your little short hair and your glasses on, looking like little boy Charlie. I ain't forget you. I ain't forget you, right? Be honest. I ain't forget you. Miss Mycroft, yeah. Anyway. You see what I mean? These are the people where I'm like, yo, hey, I did that. Yup. I'm better than you said. Yup. When I think about that, self-doubt can't live here. Can't live here. It might pass through, but that's just what it's going to do. It's going to pass through. It can't live here. Okay? Let me tell you how I evicted the voice. Okay? I evicted that voice. I didn't wake up one day and the self-doubt was gone. Okay, I want to be honest with you. I didn't wake up and like, oh, self-doubt's gone. Every time self-doubt came in, I said, let me go get that. Let me go get that. I don't know if I could do, yep, let me go do it. Man, let me go do it. Anytime self-doubt popped up, let me go do it. You see what I mean? I didn't care if I wanted to do it or I didn't want to do it. It was bigger than if I wanted to. It was that I had to. I had to show myself that no, self-doubt was only living because I gave it life. Somebody planted it, but I could pull the weed. Why I didn't pull the weed? If you got a garden, right, and you go out into your garden and you looking around and you got the weeds, you pull all the weeds out, right? Self-doubt's the same way. Oh, I thought that. Oh, let me go conquer that. Why did I think about that? Oh, I was talking to this person. Oh, this happened. Yep, pluck that. I'm plucking anything. I'm pulling anything that gets me away from where I'm going. Everything, right? No exceptions. I didn't wake up and it just happened. No, I had to do it, right? I made the decision to act in spite of the voice, not let the fear live. I made that decision. I don't care what that voice says. What's the plan? You ever heard the cliche saying, you don't plan to fail, you fail the plan? Okay, cool. Self-doubt pops in. I'm making a decision in spite of whatever that voice says. Okay? Not after it left. I didn't wait for it to leave. I did it in the moment. In the moment. I can't wait for it to leave. It might take too long. Something else might pop up. I got to do it in the moment. Right? It's like, yo, when you don't feel like doing it, just do it anyway. It's one of them things. Okay? Every call you made while doubting yourself was a voice against that vote. Every decision you made when doubting yourself was the voice you had that was against that vote. That doubt was saying, don't do it, don't do it. You're going against the voice every time. Go against the voice. Whatever you hear, go against it. The voice is popping up out of habit. The voice is popping up because you haven't processed history. Go against the voice that says you can't. And you're like, oh, easy, got that. Oh, no, I could do that. Yeah, no problem. No problem, right? Listen, every sale you closed while feeling like a fraud was proof that the voice was lying. So every deal you close, watch this. every sales encounter you had and you felt like there was nowhere to go and everything in your head was saying, it's not possible, it's not going to happen. Yo, that was a fraud. That just put that there and see if you was going to buy into it. But you're like, nope, we're going to make something out of this. I'm going to figure this out. And then you figure it out. And every time you figure it out, that self-doubt gets further and further away from you. So every time them situations pop up, you're like, oh, this is nothing. I've seen that before. See, the problem is there's some things you never seen before, so it's easy for the doubt to live. But once you see it work, the doubt can't live there anymore. The illusion of the self-doubt that it won't work, that it won't happen, goes away. It can't live when you prove it wrong. Fear and doubt cannot live inside of proof. You proved you overcame it multiple times before. So you don't doubt it now. Customer says to me, hey, I want to be, $300 a month. I get them to $500. Yeah, that's light work. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm not surprised at that. I don't doubt that I can get somebody from 3 to 5. Do I think it can happen 100% of the time? No, mathematically, it's not going to happen 100% of the time. But do I feel like I'm gonna miss out on every one? No. Do I feel like I'm gonna get the majority? Yes. Self-doubt can't live there anymore. I'm not afraid of your payment you say you want, what you want to invest in this. I'm not afraid of that. Right? I know what it's worth. Learn its worth. Okay? Listen, everything I just talked about, the doubt, the voice, the history, you carry into every sales call. That is exactly what Celebration was built for. It was built to address that. No scripts, no tactics, no internal work, right? That needs to change every external, right? No internal work that changes everything external. You got what I'm saying. I'm trying to give it to you exactly how I got it, right? When you're ready, it's waiting for you. Understand that. When you're ready, it's waiting for you. Okay? Listen, man, I'll see y'all next week. I hope that was beneficial.